What a groove, man. The bass playing is primo. Keyboard line's very cool. Talk about a texture change. Nice vocal flow over the top of that. Beautiful keyboards. It's so good. Guitar line is funky. Flight halftime groove, very nice. We'll go back and talk about this in a second. We gotta stop though, I'm sorry. Alright, we'll get back to the hook here in a second. Let's go back for this minute. Man, what a great song so far. Let's talk about what's going on. But what's going on in the beginning? The groove is so nice. How do we get a good groove? Okay. My opinion / experience is you need the bass player to be great and you need the drummer to be great, because it's like this, it's a marriage, it's this relationship, because the bass player is just a tonal drummer, if that makes sense. If you play, you totally get it. If you don't play, you might be like, what? But the roles are so similar. And if you have a great drummer and an okay bass, yeah, it could work, but it might not be, you know, like it might not be grand. If you have an amazing bassist, but the drummer kind of like shitty, you're like, it's just not going to be there. This needs to hit. And it does hit. This is amazing. But why? There's always the but why. Let's talk about it. You got the keyboard lick, obviously, is the main voice on top. It has little variations that are in there. It kind of feels almost like a little bebop line, kind of jazz-like. And your ear is going to go to that first, obviously. But if we listen down underneath, my favorite part of this is the bass player kind of navigates with the keyboard line. Like first listen, I thought I was just hearing the same bass line over and over. And then like second listen, I was like, oh, wait a second. That's actually following the layering, how we're kind of the contour of how this is moving through the progression with the keyboard line. And I'm not surprised at all, because the band, you know, I've never, it's always been like, you just expect really creative bass stuff happening. And then again, back up, gonna repeat. And we get kind of a borderline disco, super open, wet hi-hat there. So it's cool. We'll go back one time. We'll let it go on to the next part of the verse here. But I think the best part, the takeaway, is listen how thick and cool that groove is. It's a very unique listen. But then when the verse starts, it's completely it's different. Is there some consistency in the groove? Well, there's a groove there. It's not the same groove, but the groove is just as heavy. So for me, from like appreciating the design, I really, really appreciate it, because we drop, the dynamics go down. It's wide open. You go from like electric bass to more of like a synth bass sound. Drums go from drum set to more of like a digital / 808s kind of thing. And it allows and just opens up for the vocalist to be like, just the flow to come out. Oh, but there's a fill. We got to talk about the fill. Hold on. We'll get there. 7-2, here it is. Yeah, okay, before we get into this next group, we got to talk about bar 8. We get da-dee-da-da-da-da-da. We talk about this fill all the time, this rhythm. Basically, this grouping, it's 4 groups of 3, 2 groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now, granted, we're not filling. That's the skeleton. That's like everything there. The rhythm that we hear here is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But that, you can see where the foundation comes from. It's there, but it's beautiful. And it's not just a drum fill. It's like an ensemble fill. Everyone plays that line, and then it brings us in to that difference. So let's get the fill, get into the verse. Little horns going on, fun decorative ideas. Beautiful keyboards. Now that is really nice. You get a little harmony in the background there. The bass player doubles up in that line. That's super important. I like that. We had like little cool borderline jazz voicings in the keyboard parts that were going on. There's so much happening that it's subtle. It's not a crazy amount of notes. You know, we're not hitting the audience with massive amounts of demand, you know, that they have to be super, 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 super invested to appreciate what's going on, but it's all there. And for me, this is just an opinion now, I really, really like that. I mean, I like it all. I like stuff that's super difficult. I like stuff that's like, you know, a walk in the park, but this is just in the middle where the predominant. I know why I like it. It's because the groove factor is there. I always like grooves that are designed really well. I'm always going to respect and be addicted to versus songs that have like fun sounds, but like grooves are lacking. I don't know how else to say that in layman's terms, like without making it super music nerdy here. But does that kind of make sense? You know, you just the low end pocket groove design is important. But that guitar line though. And then a little boom, little bend there because the bass line, the movement kind of goes away. Now that's back to the electric bass player, but they kind of came in the second half of the verse here. But that adds like a layer of contour, a layer of direction that gives it's so funky, so tangible. You're like, oh man, that's like right there. It's very, very, very cool. Also, the other thing, the little vocal harmonies that are happening, very, very tasty. Again. That's beautiful. Cool triplet flow there. And then suddenly the focus is here. 1, 3. Tempo's still the same. We're still moving here, but it's just an implied halftime groove because the bass player changes the way they're playing. The drummer changes the way they're playing. You can hear that immediately. 2, ready, 10. So like a lot of glissandos on the bass, we articulate loud, kind of slide down the string. It really helps for these type of grooves. And the kick drum, you get kind of that. It just gives it some life. You know, there's like little characteristics that we throw in to get those to really be in the pocket. Again. That's beautiful, man. Man. Rhythmic ideas. 10 out of 10. Whoa, snare drum sounds way different. Back to a verse with some differences here. Oh, interesting guitar playing on that. Oh, weird. Cool. Nice varieties in all this. Dude, come on, man. We're so spoiled. We're so spoiled right now. Variety, as you know, is the spice of life. We're getting so much. See, this is what I want to praise so much is because you get groups. How many times you listen to songs and it's verse, cool, same. Second verse, cool, same. Chorus, yep. Verse, cool. Verse, chorus, bridge, all the same. It is what it is. 3 minutes go by, your life goes on. You're like, cool. This is not the way. This is not what we get in a lot of J-pop songs, a lot of anime-related stuff. There's just a different flavor that's going on in musicianship and Japanese-related music that is really, really, really cool. And I appreciate it greatly from the design aspect, the musicianship aspect. It's really, really nice. I'm not saying that Japan is the only place in the world that has creative musicians. It's not the case at all. It just happens to be, in my life right now, the highest concentrate I'm getting of it happens to be in this. Now, granted, this is primarily what I'm listening to right now because it's my day-to-day. But I just want to praise it because music is music. Regardless of where you're from, music is still music. So you still want to give good musicians the kudos they deserve. Nice guitar differences. Sets a completely different mood. But for me, it's the snare drum difference in the sound. If we rewound to the other verse here, it doesn't sound like this. This is a very, very different approach. It's cool. Oh my god, dude. Like that second guitar line just creates a beautiful harmony against the vocals. Again, please. Here we go. That is stanky, baby. That's way more. I felt like we had a quick Barry sax lick. Hold on. Yeah. Maybe not Barry, maybe tenor, but it doesn't matter. Just a little bit of syncopation there against. I mean, it's not really syncopation. They're kind of playing the same thing, but the groove again, super established. But just variety in the instrumentation that we're getting to give it to us. Like one more time, please and thank you. Like this is so awesome, man. Again. Little bit of difference in the phrasing, maybe from the vocal side, but that's beautiful, right? We want those varieties. I feel like that the intricacy of the sax lick, that the guitar stuff that's going on, the way that was playing with the vocal line gave us such a different experience within like the rhythm of that flow. That it's just, man, I don't know. I get nerdy about this. No, that's interesting. Our halftime groove here, same construction as far as like making 1 and 3 be the rhythm focus, but I don't know. We got some cool like horn things on the right side of the mixer and the right side of the headset. Very interesting. Some cool claps. Massive variety in the fill. Remember that blues lick we talked about earlier? We get it again, but it's not it at all. It's completely taken on a different characteristic. Let's grab this part. First 4 notes, 2 groupings of 6-note triplets. That's nice. Did you hear like there were like the backwards playing? Like it feels like music like heading backwards. That's so cool. Like, come on, man. You got it. You have to applaud the creativity here. Oh, cool. Okay. We're going to go out this way. Ah, the piano playing, man. Wow. We'll go back in a second. Wow. Then we hang over at the end. Okay, well, it's just a surface level, right? We're just listening down. We're appreciating the layers. I can't say enough good things, and it's primarily because everything we talked about. The grooves and the amount of variety we get, and it's just kind of like there's a lot of flow and a lot of freeform ideas that all kind of come together to be nice when you think about it, how they lay on top of each other from the top down. So that's just my take on it. I'm very curious about yours. Let me know down in the comments below.